Hey guys, welcome back here to Advanced Bass Fishing, and appreciate you guys checking out today's episode. And guys, today I want to talk about using bigger baits in the month of March. At the time of filming this video, we're about a week out of March. And when you get into March, one of the things that I have noticed, and I've been talking a lot about this over the past couple months, is bass like larger lures in the month of March. They prefer larger profile baits. You know, a lot of different reasons for that we'll talk about in the video here today, but I want to talk about specifically one of my favorite larger baits to catch fish on in the month of March and give you guys some tips and advice on how and where to fish it. So we're going to get into that in today's episode here. Also guys, real quick, we have got 3 more days left on the special run of my Blaukat Throwback jig with the black with the blue tinsel. We only do a special run about once every 3 months, and it only lasts about a week or so. 3 more days left in the sale. If you guys would like to get some of my living rubber black with blue tinsel jig, I'll put the Cumberland Pro Lures website. You can order it off of in the description of this video. All my jigs are in Tackle Warehouse, but we don't have this color because it's a real labor intensive. It takes a long time to tie it. So I'll put that link in the description if you guys would like to order some before the deadline in a couple days. Anytime you're in water visibility, guys, of less than 2 foot, this is probably my favorite color. Black with blue tinsel with like the blue, some type of a blue trailer on there. They'll definitely get you some good bites. Okay, the bait I want to talk about today is the largest jerkbait that Megabass makes, which is the Megabass Kanata. Now, if you guys have watched the channel before, I've talked about this bait, but one of the reasons I wanted to do this video was how good of a bait this is in the month of March. Let me give you a size comparison a little bit here to sort of show you how much bigger it is. Here is the Megabass Vision 110, which is a 4.5 inch long jerkbait, and the Kanata is a 7 inch long jerkbait. You can see it's just a ton bigger than it. Super high sides on it, sort of a flat sided jerkbait. Deadly bait, guys. When I first saw the Kanata, when they first came out with it, the first thing that I talked about is like, man, that's probably a bait for big fish, but I don't know if you get many bites on it. I have caught the fire out of 2-pounders on this. In fact, I've caught the fire out of 1.5 pound fish on it. Fish of every size will hit this thing. It's got a really wide, erratic darting action. It goes everywhere across the water. So that's one of the reasons it triggers a lot of strikes, is it's got such an erratic, aggressive action on it that the fish just really react to it good. So I want to talk about this bait specifically in the month of March, where and how you want to fish it. If you guys have watched a lot of my videos, you know that I fish all my jerk baits on a spinning rod. This is the only jerk bait I don't fish on the spinning rod because it's so big and heavy. So I'll use that Megabass 110 special bait cast rod. Normally I'll fish it on I like to use 15-pound test, Seaguar Vizex fluorocarbon with it. That's my setup with it. And the thing about the Kanata that's a little bit different is I work the Kanata pretty aggressively. So in other words, you guys hear me talk a lot about when I'm working my jerk baits, I sort of twitch them and pull them. Sorry for the train, just came through, I can hear the train. But a lot of times on my jerk baits, you know, I'm twitching it like that on a jerk bait, but on the Kanata, I'm like boom, 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 boom. And a lot of times when I'm jerking it, I jerk the rod sideways. So instead of jerking it down like that, I jerk it off to the side like that. Because when you jerk it off to the side, it really gets that bait darting side to side, hard like that. And also in the month of March, I'm not really interested in getting this thing down to the max depth. I'm wanting to get this bait down 5 to 6 feet deep, and it'll run easily 5 to 6 feet deep, jerking it to the side like that with 15-pound test line on a long cast. And that's what seems to really trigger the strikes with it. One of the things about it also, and this is true for about any large lure, you don't want to let a large lure set in one place very long, because let's say, for example, you throw this out there and it's darting through the water like that, and you get the attention of a bass, and the bass swims over to it to look at it. If you stop that bait for very long, they can see that thing. It's a big bait, and that makes them think twice about it. It's like, is that thing real? Is it not real? That's a big bite. That's a big commitment for me to eat a 7-inch long lure if they can study it. So that's why on your bigger baits, you always want to keep them moving, whether it's a big jerk bait or glide bait or swim bait or anything like that. It'll really help you out. Okay, now as far as the areas that you want to fish this in March, there's 2, well, actually 3 if you have it, but there's 3 primary places I fish this. Number 1 is just on any point. You know, secondary main lake points, especially if you have low light days with some wind on it, jerking these things on those points are going to catch a lot of fish. The kanata will work in any water visibility over about 2.5 foot clarity. So I'll get out on those main lake and secondary points and just saturate the point, you know, with the kanata out there. The second way I like to fish it is on a bluff bank. It can be a vertical wall, it can be a gradual slope, but any type of a bluff bank in the month of March, I parallel that bluff bank, targeting that 5 to 20 foot of water, depending upon the water clarity, catch a lot of fish with that. And then finally, if you do have submergent vegetation, like a hydrilla milfoil, it's a really good bait to fish over the top of submergent vegetation, but a lot of you guys don't have that. But in man-made lakes, guys, you can just run points and run bluffs with these things and catch a bunch of fish on them. Got a bunch of different colors, guys. I'll link this. I'll put this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video, the kanata link. If you guys would like to use my link to order some, it's a good way to help the channel out. But a lot of different good colors. Pro Blue here is one of my favorites, but they all catch fish, just depending upon the water conditions and clarity. But one thing that will help you out on the kanata, guys, is since it's a big bait and it's a big commitment, they're going to bite it always better on windy, cloudy days, especially the clearer the water. So if you've got water clarity, like, you know, say 4 foot visibility, which is really about the clarity I like for the kanata, I want to have a day where that wind's blowing 10 to 20 miles an hour and I want a cloudy day. And if you are fishing in March, guys, and you get water temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, and you got around 4 foot of water clarity, and you got a windy, cloudy day, you're going to catch some toads on this thing. That's the best situation for it. Definitely catch a bunch of good fish with it. And the clouds and the wind aren't quite as important if your water visibilities are closer down to 2.5 foot, a little bit more off colored. You can still catch them on it in sunny days. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Big Megabass kanata, definitely gets you a good bite. Link in this Tackle Warehouse link in the description for it. Hope it helps you guys out. We'll talk later.